So my worry with Clubhouse versus Twitter Spaces and everything else that's coming is that everybody else can add it as a feature. I mean, so Snapchat figured a way to still stay relevant to an extent, right? Because stories was what it had and it went everywhere. Clubhouse has that problem. It's as of now, it's a one-trick pony. Like there's only one thing you can do on Clubhouse. Let's say I log in and I don't find, like I remember when I logged in when it was only iOS, and I didn't go back that often because there wasn't enough content for me to consume. Right, a lot of it was American. Again, like not the kind of stuff which I would generally relate to. It was very focused on an American audience. But now, obviously, with like what they've added 2.5 million new subscribers because of Android, and 1 million out of that is from India, right? So massive surge of just India only content coming in. But they need to sustain it, and I feel the big problem they're going to have is you almost need creators who are creating recurring properties where you will come back to it. Will you come back every Wednesday evening for someone's show? Will you come back every Monday morning for someone's show? So some of those pieces. And what happens when Twitter's launched theirs, Instagram is going to have their live rooms, which is their audio version coming out. Spotify is going to launch, not launch, they're basically transitioning Locker Room, which is an app they acquired, into the Spotify platform as well. So now everybody will have a Clubhouse. And at some point, and this is a question I have asked myself, right? Do I double down on Clubhouse, which is a new platform? Or do I just stick to the fact that, okay, I have a reasonable following on Twitter. I have a generally scaling up audience on Instagram. Do I focus on these? Do I want to give that much time to this? Will it even last that long? Is a question a lot of creators are asking themselves. So what is Clubhouse going to do to make sure that there is more happening there without taking away the essence of it? Like they shouldn't become an Instagram. But if they're only going to do this, how is it going to be scalable in the long term is a question which I have in my head. And I'm still not 100% sold on it, but my curiosity has increased in recent months.
Like my biggest problem with Clubhouse is that I cannot go and be serious on there. I don't know. It's just that. I mean, when I'm on call with somebody, like just the two of us, I start off pretty casual, and then we might just get, anywhere from, serious to philosophical. But, when I'm in a room with many people, I don't think I can be serious for more than 5 minutes. So I don't know. It's just
because the tendency is to be random, right? And the people are trying random stuff on it. No one's trying to do. There are a few people trying to do serious discussions, but again, there the crowd isn't very large when they're serious for too long. And the other thing also is, who said this to me? Someone said this to me very recently, and I'm forgetting who said this to me. I think it was on Clubhouse only, or no, it was on a panel which I was at. It said that Clubhouse is the heights of social strata, right? You're saying speakers and hosts have all the power, they're on top. You go down, friends of speakers are there. Then you are Janta. Right? It's almost like, you've categorized people in that sense. So in that sense, it's really become this benchmark saying, okay, this person follows me. So it's why I've moved up from being everybody else to being friends of speakers. So I need to figure a way to connect to them. So there is some, I don't know what connotation that will have just from a mindset perspective. And people are already talking about getting mentally exhausted by spending too much time on Clubhouse, right? People always saying, okay, there's something as too much Clubhouse. I don't think there's something called too much podcast, because podcasts are soothing to your mind. Clubhouse still, and all of them are just driving a lot of audio, and which is like high energy audio in many ways. Maybe not high energy, but just like the activity is a lot louder in that sense into your head. So you get exhausted faster. So will it have, in the long term, will it have as much engagement as your 2-hour-long podcast might have? I don't know. But it's the difference between YouTube and Netflix for me. You can, where Netflix is where podcasts will reside, and where YouTube is where Clubhouse will reside, is what I feel.
Yeah. When you said the social strata thing, I was like, yes, I relate, because once I don't know. So once I was in this Clubhouse room, it was, I think, midnight. And, we were just joking around, and I asked this guy, I wasn't speaking much, but then I spoke, I made a couple jokes, and I was, at this guy, and he moved me to the audience for no good reason. He's like, Jatu. And there I felt offended. I'm like, what, how can you do that? I mean, so, and everyone else.
And for a host, you worry, right? You worry about, because I've had scenarios where I am hosting or I'm one of the speakers, and you know that you're opening up for people to give their points of view, and someone is taking much longer than they need to and taking away time from others, and you want to bump them off. But so I have literally bumped someone off, and I think this happened on Twitter Spaces. It didn't happen on Clubhouse. But I bumped someone off, and then I DM'd them separately saying, sorry, I had to bump you off because you have to move to the next person, and you know, we want to put time constraints. So it's almost a different way of figuring out how to build and maintain relationships in a totally different, like it's
because there's no DM on Clubhouse. There's no DM on Clubhouse.
Yeah. So then I did on Twitter then.
Yeah, people can say something else, and I can interpret it in a very different context and form a very different image of them. And it's like, I don't know, it's the chai ki tapri that we all miss.